Howdy Nikon enthusiasts, today I'm doing an unboxing of the Nikon D500. This is one of the most hotly anticipated cameras, especially if you've been following the buzz online, and I'm very psyched about it. So as I've mentioned before, unboxing videos, I don't get them, but there's interest in them, plus not to mention, it doesn't hurt that it generates traffic on my channel, which I could definitely use in terms of support, so forgive that, but stick around. It's not just going to be about unboxing. I will do some comparos to the D7100, D750, and D600. So just, quick all around of the box. Before I forget, a shout out to John at Milford Photo for helping me land this. Well, actually, a shout out to Warren on Nikon Cafe who pointed me out to Milford Photo because I wasn't really sure if I really wanted D500, right? I had intentionally moved away from crop sensor cameras. I don't know if you ever read my D750 review, but I do a lot of low light shooting, especially in my church, and plus not to mention, my videos, my reviews, I do a lot of low light shooting. So because of that, I really needed a good sensor with low noise. So I intentionally moved away from D7100, which was my first choice, to the D600 and then the D750. But this, wow, like when you read the specs and what it has, other than the full frame sensor, there really is nothing much of a bragging right for the D750. I mean, seriously, just based on specs alone, this thing completely blows away the D750. But of course, that's just on paper. Let's dig into it again. I'm going to make this very clear. This is not going to be a review. It's going to be an unboxing, certain impressions, a little comparisons. I may get into a review in the future, but for now, let's continue with this. So one thing that struck me immediately that actually was mentioned online as well was that these manuals, they don't come in a bag anymore. Guess times are tough for Nikon. Alright, sarcasm aside, they're being eco-friendly, no plastics and stuff like that, so your manuals actually come this way. Well, the reason why I even mentioned that is because, hey, I don't know, right? Maybe this was opened, I don't know. But up to this point, there has been so little about a camera until I actually saw one fellow's unboxing video. He's a photojournalist. I'll put a link to his unboxing, but he actually also pointed that out as well. So anyway, that's that. So pretty standard format. You got the camera on one side, bubble wrapped, and also put within another bag. And it's a decent size heft. Screen protector is protected with this overlay. Get into this in a second. Got the straps. Got a USB 3.0. Wow. 21st century USB 3.0, guys. You have an EL15. Now this one ends in 20. Significance for that is stick around. I'm actually going to test out a few batteries on this. Both the original one that ends in 01 as well as a few aftermarket ones. You have the MH25A quick charger with its plug here, US plug, and then last but not least, you got these guys. Now, I didn't know what these were actually until I saw the unboxing video of that other guy. Apparently, these are protectors for the HDMI cables that goes onto the side of the camera here. So you've got two of them. The bottom one is where the HDMI port is, so you would pretty much plug it here. Again, it's just to protect the connector, so that way in case you accidentally smack it or something like that, it helps prevent it from completely killing your port and the cable itself. Now, one of the first things that you're going to want to do after getting this camera is adjusting the diopter. Well, after you've gone through your menus and whatnot, here's a little tip for you. This diopter is not like other ones where right away you could adjust it. It's like a watch stem. You're going to want to pull it out first. As you saw there, make your adjustment, push it back in. Alright, so I've slapped a nifty 50 on there. This is a old EL15 battery from the Nikon D600 dated back to 2012. As you can see over here, that ends in 01. Gonna dump this in here. It's a good sign, fires right up, no problem. Initialization, pick my language, tells you about snap bridge. I'm gonna skip that for now, not ready for that yet. Now, if you sought out a D500 unboxing video, you obviously know what a D500 is, so I'm not going to bore you with the specs. You could go online and check that out yourself. But my initial impressions, really? They gypped me. Wow. Just kidding, guys. Come on, line up. Anyway, but no, seriously, okay. Really? You're going to gyp me on a $2,000 camera and not provide me with my hot shoe cover? Okay, Nikon, times must really be tough for you, but still. And then the other thing I noticed right off the bat is the rubber lens cover. So again, if you're going to build this as a professional camera, and obviously this could differ, right? Everybody's tastes are different, but I would have expected at least a DK19 on here, you know, not the standard stuff here, but whatever, I digress. Now, with this unboxing, really what I wanted to do was some of the quick questions that you may have, right? Obviously I can't address all of them, again, not a review, but some of the things that really come up to mind, especially that I've been tracking online, is first of all, that battery. So let's get into that first. We tried the 01. The 20 is obviously going to work because that's what came with the camera. Let's try a aftermarket one. This is a DSTE brand that came with their MBD15 grip that I reviewed a while back. So I'm going to try this one first. Oh, not a good sign. So right off the bat, it's showing that that battery is depleted when in fact it truly isn't. I know for a fact that it's not. Hit menu, nothing's working. Dump that into a D600, flick it on, and as you can see, it is fully charged. Come into the battery info and you can see it's 100% charged, so that's Nikon protecting their interests by purposely blocking aftermarket batteries. No surprise there. Okay, moving on. I have a few more aftermarket ENEL15s to try. I do also have the MBD17 on order, so when that comes, I'll be checking out a few ENEL18s as well. Fortunately, I never did get around to that ENEL15 comparo, but I had quite a backlog of stuff to work through, but hopefully I'll get to that in the future. So right there, that's a STK brand. Let me see. STK SterlingTEK. Same deal, no good. Turn it on, flashes, can't get anything out of the camera. Next up, we have XPhoto, their brand. Ditto, wah wah wah. Last but not least, a brand called INSTEN. Same thing, ditto, no good. For this section, we're going to dive into the aftermarket lenses. So first off, I have Sigma 17 through 70, f2.8 through 4.0 lens. Got this mounted on. I'm going to go ahead and engage live view and just focus on something. Maybe my Dell monitor or the Metro card. There you go, confirmation beep. And going to take a look at that. Sorry, still got the original screen protector on. I'll get to that next. But now, for those of you who may not know, there was initially a scrolling problem with this lens on the Nikon D7100, as I covered in my MBD15 review, but no such problems here. So that works. The OS works as well. I tested that offline. So no problems there so far. Next up, we have Tamron's 70-200 lens. Okay, grab the shot. It's my curtains. It's in focus, so I know it's a little hard to see, but it is in focus, so no problems there with the 70-200. Now to be sure, that was the A009. And last but not least, we have Tamron's 24-70. This is their A007. That was my desktop. Again, it's hard to see there. It is crisp and clear, so all good. So that's the extent of the aftermarket lenses that I have available, but feel free to throw in some comments on which lenses you've tested if you've grabbed a D500 and what works for you or not. So now we get on to the topic about the screen protector. Given the D500 is brand new, I think there's only one available right now on Amazon. But I didn't order that because I recalled I actually had an extra one from the D750 lying around. If I'm not mistaken, that's the same 3.2-inch diagonal screen. So just to confirm that, the width of the internal screen here, meaning not including the bezel, that's 67 millimeters, and that jives with the D750s. And then the height is 51 millimeters. Which jives with the D750s perfectly. So I have a feeling that this would work. I'll cover that in a future video, but for those looking for screen protectors, give the D750 one a shot. Now, the top screen protector, I actually didn't get one because at the time when I ordered this, it wasn't available for the D750 yet. So I think what I might actually do right now is just order another D750 protector that comes with the top one. Then I'll just grab the extra from there and dump it onto the D500. But anyway, this Velo one was actually for D800 800E, and then I covered this in one of my screen protector videos for the D750. I had offered it to anybody who wanted it, but no one replied back. So anyway, as a thank you for sticking with the unboxing video, anybody who wants it, it's up for grabs, let me know. So before we close out this quick unboxing vid, another thing that most people would like to know is how does the shutter and the mirror slap sound like? So Currently I have the D500, 7100, 600, and 750. Put everything into demo mode so that way I keep it even. We're going to test it in continuous high, set the shutter to 1/4000th of a second with no image preview on. So I'm going to keep this even, put the top of this eyepiece as close to the top of the RX100 that this is being filmed on, so that way it's relatively close to the two stereo mics on the top of the RX100, and go ahead and fire away. So first up, the 7100. Okay, now I'm going to walk over there about, I don't know, 5 feet away. Now, of course, there's ambient noise. It's hot in here. I've got the one window open. But from roughly 5 to 6 feet away, here's the sound. That was 7100. Now the 600. Line it up. Here we go. Now by 6 feet away, I'm actually towards the left side of it, so you're going to pick up the sound more on the left side. 6 feet away. Get to the 750 now. Go ahead and line this up. Six feet away on the 750. Last but not least, we have the D500. Got this lined up. It's like a machine gun, jeez. D500 6 feet away. So that was on continuous high. Now we're going to test each one in their quiet mode. This is going to be a little tricky because the 7100 and the 600 only support a single shot quiet mode, whereas the 500 and 750 both have a quiet continuous. Same like before, I'm going to line this up with the top of the RX100's lens. Now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze off one at a time slowly, a few times, and I'm going to try to squeeze it as fast as I can. Although I have it on image preview off, I guess because it's in demo mode, it comes on anyway, but now I'm going to walk 6 feet away again. Well, instead of 6 feet away, I'm going to just keep it here about, I don't know, roughly 3 feet away directly behind. So hopefully to capture the stereo effect. Of course, that's the timing of the finger depending on how long I depress it for. Okay, that was the 7100. Let's go to the 600. It's definitely got a more distinctive sharp slap to it. Now from 3 feet away, directly behind. Now we got the 750 in single shot. Then now we're going to put into quiet continuous. Then from 3 feet. Now into quiet continuous. Last but not least, the D500. Now in quiet continuous. From 3 feet back, quiet single shot. And now quite continuous. So as I have mentioned right from the get-go, this was not meant to be a review. It's just a quick unboxing plus certain things that people may have questions about. To be honest with you, it wasn't so much the photography that I got the D500 for. Before I got it, I was actually cross-shopping against a 6300, mainly for the 4K video. But of course, the impressive specs alone swung me towards the D500, plus not to mention the fact that I could just go ahead and use whatever lens I have. Although I do kind of feel like the Sigma 1835 and the 5100 calling me, but that's going to be in the future. But for now, at least I could go ahead and shoot with what I have. Now, the main thing is that I was interested in doing the 4K video, although of course now I have found out that this has a crop on top of a crop. So I do plan on doing a comparison video of low light, high ISO capabilities of each one. But the only thing is I have a question about normalizing. So meaning this is the only 4K camera. These are all 1080p's, plus not to mention this is DX, that's FX. So if you guys have some tip for me on how to do that, meaning keep it in the same size. So like I would downscale the 4K to 1080p to match these. Then there's the crop factor. So definitely could use some tips and advice there. And that wraps up this video. As part of FTC disclosure, the D500 was purchased for my personal use. Thanks again for watching.